Have you ever seen two people who look the same, but their hearts are worlds apart? Two faces, two smiles, but only one of them knows what real beauty feels like. In a small American town, under the warm autumn sky, lived twin sisters. One was light-skinned, bright hair, sharp eyes, beautiful on the outside, but broken on the inside. The other was dark-skinned, soft voice, warm heart, quiet, gentle, a beauty the world never noticed, because we're taught to see with our eyes, not with our souls. But everything changed the day a strange girl appeared, a girl no one had ever seen before. Yet somehow she knew their names, and what she told them changed the meaning of beauty forever. Fade into soft wind scene opens. Maplewood mornings were usually ordinary. The school corridors, with their faded lockers and fluorescent lights, were just backgrounds to conversations that never really mattered. Lila, the black-skinned twin with gentle eyes and a quiet smile, walked slowly down the hall, clutching her sketchbook to her chest. Each step made a soft crunch against fallen autumn leaves that had been swept inside from the playground, and for some reason, it felt like the world was listening just to her. Her sketchbook contained the world she wanted to create. Images of people showing true kindness, moments frozen in time that could make a heart feel deeply, characters that carried hope and empathy in their every line. Most of the world ignored Lila. They didn't see her, or if they did, it was only a glance that immediately passed. But inside her chest beat a quiet resilience, a gentle courage she had been nurturing all her life. Sienna, her white-skinned twin with sharp eyes and confident posture, was already surrounded by her usual group of friends. She laughed easily, her blonde hair catching the light, commanding the attention that always seemed to follow her. This was her spotlight, the world revolving around her charm, her presence, her confidence. Lila, she had always been invisible, and today it seemed nothing had changed. But then the wind shifted, soft, warm, almost alive, and there she was, Arya, a mysterious girl standing there, as if she had always been a part of this world, yet completely separate from it. Arya, hello. Lila, hello. Sienna, both twins froze. Lila's heart skipped a beat. No one had ever spoken to her with such recognition. It wasn't a question of notice. It was as if someone saw straight into her soul. Sienna, confident as ever, felt a strange tug of discomfort. Something about Arya unsettled her. Arya, you've been hiding in plain sight, Lila. And you, Sienna, have been hiding behind what everyone wants to see. Lila swallowed hard. Her fingers tightened on her sketchbook. Sienna's jaw clenched. She didn't want to admit curiosity, didn't want to let herself feel vulnerable. The wind rose again, swirling around them like it was carrying a secret meant only for them. Arya's presence was calm, but magnetic. She stepped closer, her eyes reflecting wisdom beyond years. Arya, you draw the world as it should be. Lila, not as it is. Your heart has always been visible to those who truly see. Sienna, you've always been afraid that without attention, no one would value you. But real beauty, real love, begins when you are brave enough to show your truth. Lila's chest tightened with warmth. For the first time, she felt seen, not just noticed. Sienna, on the other hand, felt a prickling in her chest, a strange, unfamiliar emotion, jealousy. Her world had always been about attention, admiration, and control. And now, for the first time, someone else's quiet strength was drawing it. Sienna, defensive. So, you're some kind of messenger from the universe? Arya smiled, a soft, knowing smile. Arya, something like that. I'm here to show you both what beauty truly is. It is not what the mirror shows. It is not the applause or the compliments. It is courage, compassion, and the willingness to be seen as you are. She led them toward the old wooden bridge near the river, the leaves crunching softly beneath their steps. The late afternoon sun filtered through the trees, casting golden patterns on the ground. Arya, beauty is not attention. It is not admiration. It is not perfection. Beauty is kindness. It is empathy. It is courage to show your soul, even when the world may not notice. Lila's eyes glistened with tears. She understood, Finally, that her value had always existed, unnoticed but unwavering. Sienna, however, struggled. She realized for the first time that admiration was not the same as love. That recognition was not the same as acceptance. Her fear of being unseen, unvalued, unworthy, surfaced like a shadow she had buried deep inside. Arya, turning to Sienna, you hide behind beauty and confidence. You fear vulnerability. But it is bravery, not perfection, that makes the heart beautiful. The wind swirled around them, rustling the leaves. Time seemed to pause. The bridge, the water, the falling leaves. They were all witnesses to this first lesson. Lila, why are you here? Arya, to remind you of truths that the world makes you forget. Real beauty is inside. It is strongest when it is shared, not displayed. The next morning, Maplewood High felt different. The hallways were the same. Lockers, chatter, fluorescent lights. But something shifted. Lila walked slowly, clutching her sketchbook. She felt lighter somehow, as if the bridge encounter with Arya had imprinted a new awareness in her chest. She was beginning to notice herself, not through the world's reflection, but through the strength Arya had revealed. And yet she was still painfully aware of Sienna. Sienna glided through the hallway like she owned it. Her laughter bounced off lockers. People turned toward her, admiring, whispering. Boys lingered a little longer. Girls nodded in approval. The familiar spotlight belonged to her. But today, something was different. A small smile broke across someone's face as they passed Lila. Lila, your sketch from yesterday, it was beautiful. Lila froze. No one had ever complimented her. Not once. Her heart thumped like a drum in her chest. Thank you, she whispered, her voice barely audible. The warmth spread through her like sunlight through winter fog. But then she noticed Sienna. Sienna was watching. Her eyes narrowed slightly. Her jaw tightened. Jealousy, sharp, sudden, fierce, ignited like fire in her chest. Attention, that familiar fuel, was drifting toward Lila, and it was unbearable. Every glance, every whisper, every soft beautiful. It was all for Lila, and Sienna couldn't ignore it. She had spent her life being the center, the favorite, the admired, and now the world seemed to see someone else. Her steps faltered, her face hardened. Inside, something was breaking. By afternoon, the tension had only grown. The old wooden bridge outside school became their inevitable meeting point. Lila walked alone, sketchbook pressed to her chest. She had hoped Arya might appear again, offering reassurance, a hint of guidance. But Sienna reached the bridge first. Sienna, voice sharp, cutting. So, you're getting attention now. Lila blinked, taken aback. She hadn't asked for it. She hadn't sought it. She just existed. Lila, I didn't do anything. They just noticed. Sienna's voice dropped, soft but dangerous. Don't lie to me. You love this. You finally get to be seen. Lila's chest ached. She didn't want conflict. She only wanted to share the truth that Arya had taught her. Lila, Sienna, I never wanted your spotlight. I just wanted us both to shine. Jealousy doesn't listen. Fear doesn't listen. Sienna stepped closer, eyes shimmering with anger and hurt. Sienna, you're doing this on purpose. Acting innocent. Making people choose you over me. Lila's voice softened, tears threatening. Sienna, love isn't a competition. It isn't about who gets the applause. Sienna shook her head violently. Her voice quivered, not with cruelty, but with fear. Sienna, if they don't choose me, they leave. Lila's heart cracked. This wasn't cruelty. This was fear, the deep, raw fear of being invisible, unloved. Before either could speak further, the wind rose. Soft, gentle, carrying the scent of autumn leaves. And there she was, Arya, stepping into the golden light. No footsteps, no sound, only presence. Arya, calm, quiet, powerful. Jealousy is not hate. It is a fear of not being loved. Sienna's tears fell, fast, messy, and real. She buried her face into her hands. Arya knelt beside her, taking her trembling hands. Arya, you've spent your life performing to be loved. But love isn't given for applause. It's given for truth. Sienna shook her head, her voice a whisper. Then how do I get it? I don't know how to be loved for me. Arya placed Sienna's hand gently on Lila's chest. Arya, here. Love begins here. But you cannot receive it if you hide behind masks. Sienna collapsed into Lila's arms, and Lila held her, not because she had to, not because she was strong, but because she had always loved her sister, fully, unconditionally. The river shimmered beneath the fading sun, the sky softened, and something inside both girls shifted, not fixed, not perfect, but cracked open enough to let light in. After the confrontation, the twins walked along the river silently. Autumn leaves swirled around their feet. Sienna's sobs softened to shaky breaths. Lila's arms remained around her, steady, warm, anchoring her sister. Sienna, voice low, almost broken. I've always tried to be perfect. I wanted people to notice me, but it's exhausting. Lila, it's not your fault. I didn't even realize how heavy it was for you. Sienna's lips trembled. Her eyes, swollen, glistened in the golden light. She wanted to hate Lila for receiving attention, but the warmth of her sister's love pierced through the anger. Arya knelt beside them, gentle, patient. Arya, true beauty is not the spotlight. It's the courage to be honest with yourself and with others. It's in love freely given, not demanded. Sienna finally looked up. Her gaze met Lila's, not in rivalry, not in judgment, but in recognition. Recognition of sisterhood, recognition of truth. The wind carried whispers of past mistakes and new beginnings. Autumn leaves danced like sparks of hope. Lila, can we start over? Sienna exhaled, a shaky nod. For the first time in years, she felt vulnerable but safe. Arya smiled softly, fading slowly into the golden sunlight. Lessons live in the heart, not in memory, she said. You will carry them forward, together. The twins watched her leave. The bridge was quiet, but inside them, something had changed forever. Sienna's hand found Lila's, not as a performance, not as competition, but as sisters who saw and accepted each other. They walked back toward Maplewood High, leaves crunching underfoot, light breaking through the clouds. They didn't know what challenges awaited, but they knew one truth. They had each other. And that was enough to begin again. The evening sky over Maplewood was heavy, almost silent. It was the kind of night that felt like it had been waiting for a truth to break. Sienna sat on her bedroom floor, knees pulled to her chest, makeup smeared from the day's emotional roller coaster. Her room was immaculate, decorated with soft pastel walls, framed certificates, and golden lamps, a perfect reflection of everything she thought she should be. Yet, in that moment, it felt like a prison. Every compliment she had ever received, every laugh she had forced, every mask she had worn, it all hit her at once. She stared into the mirror, the same one she used daily to perfect her image. And for the first time, she saw a stranger staring back. Sienna, whisper. Who am I if no one is watching? The room seemed too quiet, too loud, too fragile. Then, a soft flicker of light. It wasn't broken. It wasn't scary. It was subtle, just enough to say someone else was there. Arya appeared in the doorway, her presence calm and steady. No words were needed. The air itself welcomed her in. Sienna didn't look up. She couldn't. Her chest heaved, full of fear, regret, and longing. Sienna, why does it hurt so much to be me? Arya didn't touch her. She let the question breathe. Arya, because you spent so long being what the world wanted you to be, you forgot what you needed. Sienna trembled, tears sliding down her cheeks. Sienna, I was afraid that if people didn't love me, I would be left alone. Arya's voice was warm, steady, human. Arya, love is not something you earn. It is something you allow. And to be loved, you must first be willing to show who you truly are, not the mask, not the performance. You. For the first time, Sienna lifted her eyes. Arya did not look away. No judgment, only truth. The next morning brought the crisp scent of rain and earth. Lila waited on the old wooden bridge, sketchbook pressed to her chest. Not for attention, not for recognition. She was waiting for her sister. Footsteps approached. Uneven, hesitant. Sienna, eyes swollen, hair messy, shoulders bare of confidence. She looked like someone who had finally broken the mirror and survived. Lila turned with a gentle smile. This time, Sienna did not meet her with arrogance or superiority. She approached with truth. Sienna, voice trembling, "I'm sorry." The words were small but carried more weight than years of pride and rivalry. Lila's eyes filled immediately, tears quiet, warm, forgiving. They embraced. No performance, no masks, just sisters. And in that embrace, years of competition, jealousy, and fear dissolved like mist. Arya appeared again, standing in the sunlight where it touched the bridge. Her smile was serene, not sad, but full of gentle closure. "Lila, you're leaving, aren't you?" Arya, "Yes. You don't need me anymore." Sienna stepped forward, tears falling freely. "Sienna, I don't want to forget what you taught us." Arya shook her head softly. "Arya, you won't. Lessons don't live in memory. They live in the way you love each other." The wind wrapped around them like a final embrace. Sunlight glowed golden, as if blessing them. Arya, soft voice, "Remember, real beauty is not what you show the world. Real beauty is what you share with the world." The light intensified for a heartbeat. Then she was gone, not vanished, just returned home. The bridge was quiet, but inside the sisters, something shifted forever. Sienna took Lila's hand, not as a performance, not as a mask, but as a sister. Together, they walked forward. After the reunion, the twins walked along the riverside. The air was crisp. The bridge behind them glimmered with the morning light. I spent so long pretending I was fine. I wanted to be loved, noticed, admired, but I forgot to love myself. Lila squeezed her hand. "Lila, and yet you are loved, not for your perfection, not for the applause, but for who you are as you are." Sienna laughed softly, a tear escaping. It wasn't easy. Healing never is. But for the first time, she felt real connection, untainted by competition or jealousy. Arya appeared one last time, standing among the golden light, filtering through autumn leaves. "Arya, real beauty is not in reflection or recognition. It is in courage, kindness, and love freely given. Carry this with you." She smiled softly, fading slowly, leaving behind warmth, light, and peace. The twins stood together, silent, their hearts beating in unison. They had survived envy, fear, and insecurity, and they had found each other again. From that day on, they saw the world differently, not through masks, not through comparison, not through shadows of jealousy, but through truth, vulnerability, and compassion. The bridge, the river, the autumn leaves, they all bore witness to their transformation. Sisters united, hearts full, eyes open. The lessons would stay. The love would remain. The world, once daunting and cold, now felt alive with possibility. And so, they walked forward, side by side, into a life that was authentic, courageous, and beautiful.